This is Top Accolade African News Updates. I am Soy Bifa Jackridge. Markus Jooste, the former head of the Steinhoff Retail Group that was at the center of a huge corporate fraud case in South Africa, has died. Police said Jooste succumbed to a gunshot wound in hospital, with local media reporting he shot himself at his home in the southern town of Hermanus. It came a day after the 63-year-old was ordered to pay a $25 million, that is 20 million euros fine. The country's financial regulator said Jooste had played a role in the publishing of misleading financial statements about Steinhoff International Holdings. The retailer has suffered heavy losses, as have investors in South African pension funds, since an accounting scandal broke in 2017. Jooste had resigned as CEO but denied any knowledge of accounting fraud. Prior to that, the businessman had acquired billions of dollars worth of high street retailers across Europe, including the UK-based Poundland. He had also been fined for insider trading in 2020. A Rwanda-born man has been arrested in Ohio on charges of hiding his involvement in the 1994 Rwanda genocide. Federal prosecutors accuse Eric Tabaro Nshimiye of concealing his involvement in the mass murders, including personal hacking people to death. Nshimiye has lived in Ohio since 1995 after fraudulently gaining refugee status in the U.S., prosecutors say. He has previously denied participating in the genocide. He is due to appear in federal court in Boston at a later date. Nshimiye testified at the 2019 trial of Jean Leonard Teganya, who was convicted as a genocide perpetrator. Prosecutors accuse him of lying under oath in order to conceal his involvement in the killings. He is alleged to have personally participated in killing of ethnic Tutsis by hitting them on the head with a nail-studded club and then hacking them to death with a machete, according to court filings. He left Rwanda in mid-1994. The following year, he traveled to Kenya, where he is accused of lying to the U.S. immigration officials in order to enter the U.S. He faces charges of falsifying, concealing, and covering up material facts, obstruction of justice, and perjury. David Johnson, a defense lawyer for Nshimiye, did not immediately answer a telephone call requesting comments. The Rwandan genocide saw about 800,000 people slaughtered in Rwanda by ethnic Hutu extremists over just 100 days. In 1994, so-called genocide diaries targeted members of the minority Tutsi community as well as their political opponents, irrespective of their ethnic origin. Islamist militants in Niger have killed at least 23 soldiers and injured 17 others during an attack in the northwest of the country. The defense ministry says more than 100 armed men on motorbikes used improvised explosive devices and suicide bombs to ambush the military unit as it was making its way back from an operation in the Tillaberi region. The ministry said 30 of the attackers were killed following last year's coup in Niger. The country's military rulers severed ties with its Western allies. French forces, who have been leading an international fight against jihadists, were forced to leave. Last weekend, the authorities said that they were cancelling an agreement following U.S. troops to be based in Niger. Tanzania's Vice President Philip Mpango has threatened to resign over a prolonged water shortage affecting residents from the northern Wanga district. Mr. Mpango on Thursday accused contractors working on a major project aimed at supplying water in the region of taking too long time to complete it. The project, worth over $100,000, that is 79,000 euros, was started close to 20 years ago, according to Mpango. If this project will not be providing water to the locals by June, I will step down. I don't know what will be the fate of the local administrator and his juniors if I resign, Mpango said. I cannot come here again and tell citizens to wait further for this water. Water is life, he added. According to government officials accompanying Mpango to Wanga, the project is nearly 90% complete. That is the size of Top Accolade African News Updates. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy Friday.